So, I was watching this week's Nintendo Direct, so the February 5th Direct, and I got through it like I usually do, and it led me to the conclusion once again that I still don't want a Switch 2. So that's a bit crazy and disappointing for me really, because if you asked myself like 1 year ago, exactly today, if we go back to February 2025, and you asked me at that time, are you picking up a Switch 2 at launch? I was like, day one, I'm doing it. I was so excited for Switch 2. But now we're 1 year later, 8 months after the launch of the Switch 2, and I still don't have it and I still don't want it. So what happened exactly? And I feel like I'm not alone in this situation. I feel like a lot of hardcore gamers and Nintendo fans are still holding out on the Switch 2, even though like it sold crazy numbers and it already outsold the Wii U. But like I feel like I'm not alone in this, and a lot of people feel that way and are not excited by the Switch 2 and don't exactly want to pick it up for various reasons. So why is that? Like, it's the brand new Nintendo console. Why isn't there any more hype than this? So I want to talk to you today about my feelings and my thoughts on the Switch 2, why I'm not picking it up right now, why I probably won't pick it up in 2026. So let's explore this together. If you don't know me, I'm JH24 Games. I do videos about game collecting, I do video game essays. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, that would help me out a lot. And I'm really glad to have you here, answer to all comments, and I'm just here to talk games with people. So let's go back to just over 1 year ago from today, in January of 2025, when we had the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2. So this was like mid-January. It was in the dead of winter. I live in Quebec, so it was like minus 25 outside, and I don't know, it felt like kind of hopeful that we have a new Nintendo console coming out this year. So I watched the little, it's like a 2-minute video when they reveal it. It's more like on the tech showcase side. It's like a video where they just show it on like a blank space, and they show it how it's different from the Switch 1 mainly. But after seeing that, I just remember feeling excited and looking forward to the Switch 2. I thought it looked really good. I thought it looked really clean. I like the black, like just the touch of color. So that was a good news for me. Like the design, like that it was bigger. Looked really like a premium Switch. And it made me really excited. I think they announced around that time, or in that direct maybe, they announced that in 3 months, 2.5 months from now, on April 2nd, 2025, they would hold the big Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, when they would reveal everything, and they would give detail on the console, the games, and all. So the date of April 2nd was really marked in my calendar. I was really looking forward to that. So came April 2nd, beginning of spring here in Quebec, beginning to get warmer and all. And I remember being so excited. I watched the Direct on lunchtime. It was a working day, so I was doing remote work, but like at midday, just sat in front of the TV with my lunch, watched the Direct. And I feel like it's the excitement was still really high at that point, but from that point on, that the disappointments kind of started. So that April 2nd Direct 2025 was like an hour long, and I'd say like the third of it was showing off the hardware, giving details about like the mouse controls and the new things that would come with the console, like game share and all, the camera. But I remember not feeling really impressed by that. It felt like a bit gimmicky, like the game share and the camera. And looking back 8 months later after the launch, almost 1 year later after that Direct, I think it's safe to assume that it was a bit of a gimmick and nobody really uses that. I felt also unsure about the mouse. I felt kind of excited. I saw a lot of possibilities and cool things that developers could do with the mouse, but I was like cautiously optimistic about that. But in that Direct, what disappointed me the most, I think, was the games. Nothing really like impressed me a lot. Well, first of all, they started by revealing that the launch game would be Mario Kart World. I think I'm one of the 12 people on Earth, even though the Switch collection that I have there is my biggest physical collection. I do not have Mario Kart 8. I'm not really that big into Mario Kart. The one that I've played the most, it's this one, Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube. Don't try me on that one. I'm gonna beat you. But I haven't really played any other Mario Kart than that. And like I didn't pick up 8, and now like the big launch game was World, so right from the start I really did not care that much about the launch game. And also retrospectively, I think Mario Kart 8 as a core Mario Kart experience is much more beloved by a majority of people than Mario Kart World. So yeah, so first of all, we have the disappointment of the launch game for me. And there were other launch games, but like really disappointing also. Is it really even a game if we talk about Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour? It's like a tech demo, but you have to pay for it. It's really not no, it's a tech showcase again, but you have to pay this time. And like the big game that they were promoting for sure enough, the mouse control was Dragon Drive, which looked really not really not exciting. Like again, it kind of looked more like a demo game. And right now we can confidently say that it's not like one of the best games ever made for the Switch 2. So they were also like the third-party partnerships, so they revealed some few third-party games that would come to Switch 2, but games that I mostly already played on other platforms. So like nothing really exciting for me coming out from that presentation, so I was a bit disappointed and I started to doubt if I really wanted a Switch 2. I liked Bonanza, but that was pretty much the only thing that interested me in that old direct. And I started to question, like, will I pick this up or, will I wait? But they revealed that it would come out on June 5th, so 2 months from that direct. So I went back to work on that April 2nd day, finished the day. And after the day ended, I went on social media and all. And that's where I saw all the controversies, the various controversies that had already emerged for the Switch 2, because I really didn't realize it during the presentation, but there were no mentions of prices at all. So they kind of hid this from the presentation, and it's because they probably knew that they would face some backlash. When I saw everything about the prices, I think that's when I started to really doubt that I would pick the Switch 2 up on June 5th. And there's the price of the console, first of all, that you could argue is kind of fair, but it's still a lot of money. Like, in Canada, if you picked up the bundle for Mario Kart, it's 700 Canadian. And if you add tax to that, it's 15%, so you're more close to like 800. Like, that's pretty much what my PS5 cost, but like I bought my PS5 because I didn't have any current gen consoles. And I wanted something to play like recent releases and powerful games. But now I already have that, so if the Switch 2 doesn't offer really anything unique, why would I like spend like $800 with tax on this machine that I'm not sure I'm gonna use that much? That's just gonna be like an enhancement for my Switch that I mainly use right now for like visual novels or games that I really want to play in handheld mode. And then there was the controversy around the prices. Mario Kart World being offered for $80, and in Canada it was really steep. It was, I think it went down a bit now, but when it first came out, like I remember going into EB Games and just seeing it in person, the price tag, $115 for Mario Kart World. And it's the same value as the $80, but there's something about like when you see something above $100, there's like a mental block. And I think $115 is straight up crazy for like a new game that really doesn't have that much to it, like Mario Kart World. I think it's completely crazy to charge this price for that game. While it's kind of clear that it's not even complete right now, and you're charging $115, and the whole narrative that they put up to try to justify it didn't make any sense, and it felt like they didn't want to stand up to their own decisions, and that really bugged me. So the price things really affected me, and the other controversy for someone who was really getting into game collecting in 2025. If you want to hear more about my journey on that, check out my first video. But something that's really bad for us collectors, it's all the game keycard fiasco. If you don't know, most third-party games and some first-party games from Nintendo on the Switch 2 are not all on the cartridge. They're just like they're a key card. It the card is only a key to unlock a download that you have to do via the internet. So for game preservation, for gaming offline, it's really like a terrible news for collectors. You don't know how these games will hold up in the future if the shop closes. Who knows, in 30 years, for example, are you going to be able to play your Switch 2 games if it's a game key card? We don't know that. And like, what's even the point of making a physical product if it's just a key to a download? That's... yeah, the game key cards are really bad. And like at that time I was telling myself, if I pick up a Switch 2, I won't pick up any key cards at all. I have my PS5, that's where I'm gonna play my third-party big games. But hey, so with the high prices and the game key card things, it was pretty, like, my decision was taken. I wouldn't buy it day one on June 5th. I would let some time pass, and like, if I really wanted a Switch 2, I could get it a few months after launch and wait for a bit more, a few other games to come out. So I let the Switch 2 launch in June. Felt like I wasn't really missing nothing at all, because there was really nothing until Bonanza came out. Bonanza still looks fun. It's probably the only Switch 2 game that I really want to play. The other games that I would play on the Switch 2 if I had one is probably like 80s 2, Pokemon Legends, ZA, and Metroid Prime 4, but I don't have to play them on the Switch 2. It will be the better performance for them, but all of these games are available on the Switch 1, so there's really one game that interests me on the Switch 2. There are others like Kirby Air Riders, that seems really fun, but it's mostly a multiplayer game, and I don't have a lot of friends that play Switch 2. Well, actually, I don't think I know anyone in real life that has a Switch 2. And also, like, Hyrule Warriors, didn't really interest me at all, this game. So for most of the rest of 2025, was clear in my mind that I wasn't buying any Switch 2 anytime soon. But I kind of felt like it was coming eventually, and one thing happened that I felt like it would make me pick up a Switch 2, and that is the reveal in the Direct in the fall of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. If you watch the other videos on this channel, you know that Fire Emblem is my favorite game series, and Fire Emblem Three Houses is probably my favorite Switch game. I really also like Engage. I did the whole video essay on that. So the Fortune's Weave reveal was really, really incredible, and this game looks so awesome. And it's a new Fire Emblem, it's in the world of Three Houses, the graphics look really sharp, the character design, I think they came back in the right direction, but with more polish because the system is more powerful. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a Switch 2, but it would only be like for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. But you know, the time of reveal passed, and now in beginning of 2026, there's no release date yet for Fortune's Weave. And I don't even know anymore if it's gonna make me buy a Switch 2. Like, I'm looking for other reasons to do it, but it would mean I would only like to play 2 games on the Switch 2. That would be Bonanza and Fortune's Weave, so... I know I really love Fire Emblem, but I think I'm gonna sit it out for I don't know how long, until it's worth it to buy a Switch 2. And I still can go back and explore the other Fire Emblem games that I want to play that I missed out on and that I haven't got to yet. 2 of those would be like the duology on the GameCube and Wii, so Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, which are like some of my gaming holy grails, but I'm gonna have to pay out of my pocket to get to them. But I think it's some much more fun objectives to hunt down those games. Like, if I don't have a Switch 2, I can spend my like $250 like on Canadian on Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, instead of spending them on like 2 brand new Switch 2 games that interest me not that much. Also, I got into another mindset of collecting, that I want to buy cheaper games, good games, but cheaper games, because I think, like, just for the sake of collecting cool things, last year I picked up some more expensive games that I didn't really enjoy that much, maybe that were not worth the price that I paid. I think about a few DS games that I paid like 80-90 Canadians for, and they were good, they were like 4 stars for me, but like, I'm trying to do some cheaper gaming, so maybe like, I'm gonna try to find some deals on some PS5 games, or I'm gonna wait until my birthday or Christmas to get some brand new entries. I'm gonna look for some PS4 first party that are really not that much expensive, that are really great gaming experiences. Maybe I'm gonna pick up a PS3. I'm looking at a lot of videos about PS3 these days, and it's one of the it's a console that I missed out, and where the games are super cheap and are really good. So like for me, if gaming and collecting wants to be sustainable this year, I'm gonna look like for some cheaper games that are still good experiences, and maybe like go back a few years and like let go of the first party Nintendo for a while. Still gonna pick up some indies probably on the Switch, or some visual novels that I really like to play on the Switch. But it's a bit sad because the Switch, I really love it. It's my biggest physical collection. Also, let me know if you would like a full collection video. On my Switch, I have around 50 physical games. Let me know if you would like to see that. So yeah, so I'm gonna hold out on the Switch 2 for now, and there are a lot of like third-party games that are coming out on the Switch 2 that I'm interested in, but the fact is they are also coming out on the PS5. Like right now, I'm really excited for Resident Evil 9 Requiem and Pragmata that will be coming out in the first half of the year. And like my birthday's in the summer, I'm probably gonna wait until my birthday to receive them as gifts, to be more mindful about how I spend my money on full-priced new games. Like the only full-price new game that I'm gonna pick up myself, I think this year, is gonna be Trails in the Sky second chapter in September. But really excited for these third-party games also, and it's cool that they're coming out on the Switch too. But like I already have another platform that I paid around like $700 to play it on, so I'll use it on that one, and I'm perfectly happy with like the unique offer that the PS5 gives me versus my original Switch. Like, of course, it would be like cool to have a bigger and more performant Switch, but for the kinds of game that I play on it, it's just not worth the price at the moment. It's not worth like spending out $800, and like I would use it because I would use it like I use my Switch, but I just don't see the point at the moment. And for all the other reasons that I mentioned also, I think it's not a good console for collectors at the moment. There's the keycard fiasco, and also, well, that's more like a nitpick from my side, but the game boxes I find are terrible for the Switch 2. They're like the big, like let's pull up Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch 2 edition on the screen right now. There's like the big Switch 2 bar, the red bar at the top, and also they put so much text on the box. That's more for like the Switch 2 editions, but like for the key cards also they put some text. They put some text and they ruin the art. Like it's really not fun to collect. Instead of like having a clean, like no text, that's like a clean cover, you have something like that ruins like the art and the fun experience of collecting physical games. But hey, that's about it for my thoughts on the Switch 2. So I don't want a Switch 2 right now. I don't think I want it in 2026. It's gonna hurt a bit for Fire Emblem, but hey, maybe I'm gonna pick it up in a few years when prices are more reasonable, or where I can find it secondhand, and try to do some more reasonable game collecting and spending, and wait for like other reasons to buy a Switch 2. But let me know down below, do you have a Switch 2? Do you think it's awesome? Do you agree with me, or are you holding out? What are your perspectives on it? Also, I invite you to join our Discord. It's not mine personally, but it's one that I joined where we have a lot of cool conversations on gaming and all kinds of stuff. It's the Split Screen Syndicate, started originally by Retro Adam, Sage of Time, and Sharkbait Gaming. So join us if you want to talk about stuff over there. A lot of content creators also are there to hang out with you. So thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you can. It would really help me out a lot. Really excited to make more videos, and see you next time, guys. Take care.